At 6 p.m. on June 25, 2025, Richard Gerald Jordan died by lethal injection in Mississippi State Penitentiary. After 30 years on death row, the state executed Jordan for the 1995 murders of store clerk Lisa Chen and two police officers, Mark Davidson and Sarah Bennett. Jordan's crime, a robbery turned triple homicide, was described by prosecutors as a cowardly ambush. He showed no remorse for his victims. May 12, 1995, Jackson, Mississippi. Humidity clung to the streets like sweat as Lisa Chen counted down the final hours of her night shift at the Quick Stop Mart. The 22-year-old biology student worked nights to fund her tuition at Jackson State, dreaming of becoming a pediatrician. Just past midnight, Richard Gerald Jordan, strung out on crack and desperate for a fix, kicked open the glass door, sawed-off shotgun in hand. Lisa complied instantly, handing over $120 in cash and raising her trembling hands. But as Jordan snatched the money, he inexplicably fired point blank, spraying her face with buckshot. The blast echoed through empty snack aisles. Officers Mark Davidson and Sarah Bennett, young partners on routine patrol, arrived within minutes. Davidson radioed 10:33, shots fired, before cautiously approaching the entrance. Jordan, hiding behind a pyramid of beer cases, ambushed them through the shattered door. A single shot ripped through Davidson's neck, silencing his radio mid-transmission. Bennett, rushing to drag her partner to safety, took two blasts to the chest. Jordan then sprinted past their crumpled bodies, stealing Davidson's idling patrol car as Bennett gasped her final words. Officer down. Quick Stop, chaos engulfed Jackson. 3 bodies lay in the Quick Stop's fluorescent glow. Lisa behind the counter, Davidson in the doorway, Bennett sprawled near the gas pumps. Evidence was overwhelming but fragmented. Grainy security footage showed Jordan's gaunt face. 12-gauge shell casings littered the floor, and bloody boot prints led to the stolen cruiser. A statewide manhunt launched with roadblocks, K-9 units, and APBs describing Jordan's tattoos, a spiderweb on his elbow, rage on his knuckles. For 3 days, Jordan evaded capture, ditching the patrol car in a bayou and stealing a fisherman's pickup. The break came when his estranged girlfriend, Tanya Wells, discovered blood-soaked jeans stuffed under his trailer's floorboards. She tipped off the police, whispering, "He bragged about killing cops." On May 15th, Louisiana SWAT teams found Jordan passed out in the stolen truck, deep in the Atchafalaya swamp. Bennett's handcuffs dangled from his belt. Lisa's $120 was crumpled in his pocket. He offered no resistance, slurring, "Ain't even smoked yet," as officers dragged him through knee-deep muck. Jordan's 1996 trial was a 4-day hurricane of rage and grief. Prosecutors played the Quick Stop security tape, frame by frame, showing Lisa's terrified compliance before the shotgun blast erased her future. Ballistics experts matched Jordan's stolen weapon to all 3 killings, including the unique buckshot pattern in Bennett's vest. Tanya Wells testified, weeping, that Jordan returned to her trailer boasting, "Took out 2 pigs and a chink." His alibi, fishing near Vicksburg, imploded when a gas station clerk produced a time-stamped receipt placing him 3 miles from the Quick Stop minutes before the murders. The defense's claim of crack-induced psychosis crumbled under medical records proving Jordan's lucidity during prior arrests. The Hinds County jury deliberated just 114 minutes. Guilty on 3 counts of capital murder. When the judge asked if Jordan had final words before sentencing, he smirked. "Y'all wasting time." The death penalty verdict was unanimous. The Ortiz family's tragedy had its echo in Mississippi. Lisa Chen's parents, immigrants who'd scrubbed dishes to send her to college, returned to China heartbroken. Her dorm room scholarship applications, half finished, were boxed by weeping classmates. Mark Davidson's widow, Carla, raised their 4-year-old twins alone. The boys slept with their father's badge under their pillows and grew up to become cops, joining Jackson PD in 2020. Sarah Bennett's fiancé, firefighter Ben Carter, wore her engagement ring on a chain until his lung cancer death in 2010. His tombstone reads, "Waiting for my brave girl." Every May 12th, officers place white roses at the derelict Quick Stop, now a graffiti-scarred shell where "Rip Sarah plus Mark" bleeds through peeling paint. Carla Davidson kept a shrine, Mark's blood-stained notebook, Bennett's cracked radio, and a photo of Lisa in her graduation gown. "He didn't just kill 3 people, she told reporters. "He murdered futures. He murdered first dances. He murdered grandkids we'll never hold. Jordan's 30 years on death row became a torture for the bereaved. His lawyers filed 45 appeals, challenging forensic methods, jury bias, and Mississippi's lethal injection cocktail. In 2007, a stay was granted over botched DNA testing, later disproven. In 2018, he argued prison violence proved his rehabilitation, ignoring the inmate he stabbed over a TV remote. Each delay forced Carla Davidson to explain to her sons why Daddy's killer gets another chance. Bennett's elderly mother, Agnes, carried Sarah's rookie year badge to every parole hearing, slamming it on tables. Look what he took. Evidence lockers held grim relics. Lisa's biology textbook with bullet holes. Davidson's wedding ring recovered from the swamp. When Jordan won a 2020 appeal claiming intellectual disability, Agnes Bennett died days later. Her obituary read, "Weary of waiting." On May 15, 2025, exactly 30 years after Jordan's swamp capture, Governor Tate Reeves signed the death warrant. Federal appeals had expired. The Supreme Court declined intervention. A final clemency hearing featured Jordan's prison chaplain calling him a model inmate who tutors GED students. The victims' families countered with Carla's decades-old journal entry. The twins asked why Daddy's murderer gets to draw and read while Daddy's bones are dust. The parole board voted 5-0 against mercy. Governor Reeves's statement was terse. 3 heroes were stolen. 3 decades of excuses end now. Justice delayed is justice denied. Jordan's execution was set for June 25th. Jordan's 30 years unfolded in Cell B113 at Parchman Farm, a 6 by 9 foot concrete crypt. Guards noted strange rituals, sketching Harley Davidsons on toilet paper, hoarding jelly packets, filing 200+ grievances over cold grits and slow mail. He displayed no photos of family, only a Easy Rider poster peeling from the wall. Psychiatrists diagnosed chronic affective nullity. No nightmares, just complaints about itchy uniforms. In 2007, he slashed a cellmate's face over a stolen radio. In 2015, he smuggled painkillers in toothpaste tubes. When his meth cook accomplice died in 2023, Jordan requested extra jalapenos to celebrate. The warden refused. His only visitor was a German true crime groupie who sent letters praising his rebellion. As the execution neared, Jordan played chess via mail with a guard, crowing checkmate after a 2024 win. Outside, Carla Davidson placed roses on her son's police academy graduation photos. Jordan spent his last day in a sterile holding cell, refusing all family visits. His final meal request was Mississippi comfort food: crispy fried catfish, collard greens simmered with ham hocks, buttery cornbread, and peach cobbler with vanilla ice cream. He ate methodically, showing no emotion. When a chaplain offered prayers, Jordan sneered, "Save your sky fairy talk." Guards reported he hummed Leonard Skynerd's "Simple Man" while staring at the ceiling. In a final phone call to his pen pal, he muttered, "Tell him I died hungry." Did flickers of regret surface? Did he see Lisa's face or hear Bennett's gasps? Prison logs noted only inmate calm, ate 100% of meal. At 5:45 p.m., guards marched Jordan 37 steps to the execution chamber, a windowless room smelling of bleach and fear. He shuffled in leg irons, eyes fixed on the gurney. Witnesses watched silently. Carla Davidson's twins, now Sergeants Jake and Matt Davidson, in crisp uniforms. Sarah Bennett's surviving sister clutching her badge. Jordan avoided their gaze as leather straps secured his wrists, ankles, and chest. Fluorescent lights buzzed like wasps against the tiled walls. 4 lines snaked into Jordan's tattooed arms, spiderweb on the left, rage on the right. A prison medic swabbed his skin with cold iodine, the antiseptic stench mixing with sweat. Warden Mills's voice crackled over the intercom. "Inmate Jordan, ID MS-441, lethal injection sequence commencing at 1800. The clock ticked loudly, 5:58, 5:59. Jordan's eyes darted to the IV tubes as the 3-syringe panel lit up in the control room midazolam to drown consciousness. Vecuronium bromide to paralyze lungs, potassium chloride to stop the heart. Jake Davidson mouthed, "For Dad," as the chemicals flowed. When offered a final statement, Jordan turned to the witnesses. His voice rasped, "Y'all think this fixes anything? That crack had me gone. Wasn't really me in that store. Sorry it happened, I guess." No apology to Lisa's parents, no acknowledgement of the officers, only the same hollow denial he'd rehearsed for 30 years. His eyes fluttered shut at 6:10 p.m. At 6:12, he was pronounced dead. Carla Davidson sobbed into her son's shoulders, not in relief, but exhaustion. Lisa Chen chose late nights studying under flickering library lights. Mark Davidson chose to kiss his twins goodbye before patrol. Sarah Bennett chose to run toward gunfire. Richard Jordan chose crack pipes, a sawed-off shotgun, and escape. After 30 years of legal battles, Mississippi delivered the jury's verdict. The countdown that began with 3 thunderous blasts in a quick-stop parking lot ended in a sterile room where chemicals replaced bullets. Jordan's execution closes a chapter of senseless violence. His final words blamed drugs, not choices. Yet evidence, security tapes, ballistics, his own boasts, proved his agency. The victims' families leave with no victory, only the grim knowledge that the clock finally stopped. Jackson's scars remain: an abandoned quick stop, graves tended by strangers, and a justice system that moves slower than grief. Did death row's 30-year purgatory serve Lisa, Mark, and Sarah? Would a life sentence in solitary have been crueler? Or did Jordan's ambush, killing a student and 2 guardians, demand society's ultimate reckoning? The debate rages. Is capital justice closure or spectacle? Vengeance or balance? Share your perspective below. For true crime stories where the gavel's echo lasts decades, subscribe and hit the notification bell.